the pitch is Luke towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And it's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli.
Welcome, everybody, to the Great American Collectibles Show. Brian Dwyer from REA Auctions, the Phantom, has joined us. Brian, how long has it been since you've been on? All your minions, they're great, but they all come on. You never come on, but now you're on with Thrilled. How you doing?
Know, I heard Rico was going to be on this episode.
So it was.
I didn't miss it.
Hey, Rico,
let's show up.
Rico. Yesterday, you threw out the first ball at the Worcester, the Woo Sox game. How does Arias look, the shortstop?
Yeah, first of all, for those who are watching or are not from the area, this is the Red Sox AAA team, and it's in. So how many miles? 60 miles from Boston or something?
Not
whatever.
even, I don't think.
Beautiful ballpark and everything. He is definitely the next shortstop for the Red Sox.
Are they going to call him up? You think they'll call him up in September?
I think their season goes to middle of September.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that, but they got playoffs. But yeah, they should call him up.
He's the number 5 prospect in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, no, he's definitely legit. He's legit. So that's.
I mean, they need a story like he's almost as old as you are.
Well, yeah, that's true. No, but plus he's been hurt and all that. So anyway, that's the shortstop of the future. Threw out the first ball, Tom. Guys, when they announced me,
did you bounce it?
No, I threw a good one. Halfway, it was halfway. But the only people that clapped for me were everybody over 70. The kid said, "Who the hell's he?" So, but funny. It was fun. It was fun.
All right, listen, we got a good show today. Last week we got some unbelievable emails and comments about last week's show. We had Joe Orlando on, and we did a special 1-hour show with Joe. And today we're doing kind of like a follow-up to that special 1 hour. No other guests with Brian Dwyer of REA. Now, Brian happens to have his blockbuster summer auction going on, and we're going to talk about that. But this is a great opportunity. And I've always said this, between Joe and Brian and maybe really one or two other people in the hobby that we deal with, these are the guys that really have a really well-rounded knowledge of just about every aspect, Brian, of the hobby. I mean, you can talk about anything, and nothing is too controversial for you guys. Until you say, I don't want to comment on that. But other than that, it's pretty good stuff. But let's talk about the auction first, Bri. I looked at some of your, this is some really cool stuff. And I want to start it off with, I think it's your number one lot, that 1952 Topps unopened 5-cent wax pack. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's something that I would wager to say not a lot of people even know exists. It's a group of 8 5-cent wax packs from 1952 Topps.
Jesus.
They're wrapped pretty tightly in cellophane. They've been referred to as a brick, and they were found just over 30 years ago out on the West Coast. A couple dealers found about 100 packs. They opened dozens of them, and that's where the PSA 10 Andy Pafko came from, a bunch of other 9s and 10s in the early days of PSA. But they kept 3 of these 8-pack bricks sealed. And one collector bought all 3, kept them hidden in his own collection, sold one in 2019, sold one in 2023. The last one that sold went for over $850,000. This one that we've got up for sale is at over $730,000 right now with the buyer's premium. So a big ticket item and something that's very, very cool.
So Rick, let's talk about that. If you had 5 unopened packs in front of you, wouldn't you be tempted to open the damn things up?
Oh yeah, yeah, I would. There's no doubt about it. Especially early on, when it first started.
No, I'm
Uh,
saying right now with the
yeah,
packs that he's talking about, Louis.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would be. But
I
if
would be
if
so
I was
freaking
Brian
tempted.
and I was, was consigned to me or whatever it was that it's in the auction, of course you're not going to do it.
Louis, what are
But
your thoughts on that?
Well, let me turn it around and ask Brian this, because I'm sure you have this discussion with co-signers all the time. What are the basics of the discussion? What are the basics of the decision?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the discussions was, do you leave it as the brick, or
Right.
do you open the cellophane and then you have 8 individual wax packs? And we know what wax packs sell for. They've sold for 50,000. They've sold for 100 and change. I was of the opinion that let's leave it as a brick because there's only 3 bricks known. PSA's graded 33 individual wax packs. So to me, it's much more special. It's much more rare. It's great story, part of hobby history. Leave it intact. And if somebody wants to take it apart when they buy it, let them do that. So we decided to run it as the brick. I wouldn't open them myself, but I'm maybe a little bit more risk averse than some other people.
Brian, you know the story of JP with the 1959 unopened box that he did. Do you know that story?
I don't know.
So JP, this is going back. He is, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe even longer. So he hooked up with a guy, flew out to, I don't know, Indiana. The guy had unopened 1959 unopened Topps box. And he met the guy at the restaurant and bought it for, I don't know how much he paid for it, right? Got on the plane and opened up every pack.
On the plane?
On the plane.
Jeez.
He said he could not help himself. Now, he got some, I mean, I think he had a Willie Mays PSA 9 came out of it. I mean, there was some great cards, some mantles. I think there were a couple of mantles, but he said he couldn't help himself. He tried real hard, opened up every pack on the plane.
It's fun. I mean, I love opening packs as much as the next guy, but there's a difference in my mind between 2025 and 1952.
Good point.
Tell me, guys, the wax pack, the packs. When did they start buying the packs, manufacturing, however they came about?
So, in general or Topps?
Let's say Topps, because they're a major name,
Yeah, so I mean, Topps started making cards in 51. So you've got wax packs of cards starting in 51. 52 was their first big landmark set, 400 plus cards. Mantle, Maze, obviously big keys to that set. So we're 99.9% sure that these are low number packs, which would preclude you from getting a mantle, but still rare.
Well, how would you know that, Bri?
So we know that from the dealers, when they open up these packs, they only got low number cards.
Okay.
So this find,
See, I didn't know that,
came from the Seattle area in the early 90s. And when they opened up the packs, they got PAFCO and other low number cards. So,
Rico, your old friend Cy Berger is the man responsible for the mantle card being worth so much money. You realize that, right?
Well, they dumped him.
Well, yeah, he was responsible for that, I believe. So,
well, he was the guy. He was
right.
the guy with them,
and he gave you a nice set of golf clubs.
Oh yeah, no, I got the that was the bats. This I got.
No, wait a minute. When you signed with Topps, what did you get?
A stereo. We got. They gave us
the
stereo. It turned to a stone after a while.
That's great.
No.
Hey, you also have a 52 Topps near complete set. I think you've got 406 out of the 407.
Yeah, we've got the 407, which is mantle, but we're selling it individually because the demand for that card is just through the roof right now.
So the whole set graded?
Whole set's graded, all sorts of different grades, got low grades, mid grades, high grades, but an instant collection for somebody.
What is that at right now, Bri?
Last I looked this morning, it was 67.5 before the buyer's premium.
That's pretty cheap.
We got 5 days left in the auction.
Yeah, that's true.
What about, I've seen some of the notes that some guy sent me, but the pre-T206 cards. You talk about that?
Yeah, you got a lot of them.
A lot of so
Like
what?
Old Judge, you got some old. I mean, you got a lot of odds and ends that came out, prior to the T206 set.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've got a tremendous selection of cards from the
Right.
19th century. Old Judge, we've got dozens of individual cards. We've got some of the scarcer large cabinet cards, Hall of Famers. We had a nice group of those that came in for the auction. And then we've got other, turn of the century 1900 era cards. We've got a Ramley Walter Johnson in a
Great card.
5.5, which is just one of my personal favorites.
Great card.
A lot of scarce W600s, E107s.
Wow.
So if you like the rare turn of the century stuff, there's plenty to choose from.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Now that the whole world of tickets has changed, where you really can't buy tickets anymore, everything's done on your phone. Is that an area of collectibles that's really worth paying attention to? And I'm not just talking, obviously I know that, tickets with events attached to them, command a big premium, but even, just a regular, Red Sox ticket from 1990, a game on July 5th. Are those worth holding on to? I mean, because they're not going to exist anymore, the tickets. Is it worth for collectors to hold on to those? And is that an area that is going to continue to expand because it's becoming obsolete?
I think that we are seeing a lot more interest in tickets. I think that, as PSA grades these different collectibles, obviously they've been in cards forever, but tickets is newer, photographs is newer. You see more and more collectors gravitating to that because of the safety and security of the authentication process. So, I don't know if a random Wednesday day game from the Red Sox in 1990 is ever going to have tremendous value, but you'd be surprised what people collect. There are collectors that are looking for tickets from every year. There are collectors that are looking for tickets to their birthday or their kid's birthday. And then random things happen, they want a ticket from every game started by a certain pitcher, every pitcher's save, so it doesn't have to be a milestone event per se, but it could be a cog in the wheel of somebody's collection.
How
At a
about
certain point, Brian? I'm sorry. At a certain point, Brian, Ticketmaster took over the ticket process where they're just these printed out tickets that had no artwork to them and no quality to them.
Yeah.
They're probably much less valuable than tickets that had pictures or designed by the club, things like that.
Good point, Lou.
Yeah, so it goes both ways. Actually, I just submitted yesterday 3 tickets from the 1989 NBA Finals. So you had Bulls, Cavs, and those were very generic. I don't know if they were Ticketmaster or Ticketron, but they were just, date and time TBD type tickets, no artwork, no nothing. Those go for thousands of dollars a piece because of what happened in that game. So sometimes when the only way that you can get a ticket is that generic Ticketron, Ticketmaster ticket, collectors are going to be fine with it. But you look at some of these Yankees tickets from the Jeter era, and they've got really ornate designs. They've got pictures of Jeter. They've got pictures of Ruth. They've got pictures of Gehrig on them. Those are more aesthetically pleasing, and they do go for a premium.
Well, how about 1967 World Series tickets?
Good. That's a good question, Rick.
That was a big deal. So those are definitely collectible.
Okay,
Well,
what about hold on, Rico. What about a
no.
1967 World Series ticket signed by Rico Petroselli?
Nothing.
Can't put a price on that.
Yeah, right.
Starting shortstop.
Well, listen, I got my Elsie. My wife kept a couple of tickets. They were $12 tickets. World Series. I forget which game. So look, I don't want to. I'll take 20,000.
No, but hold on a second. No, but hold on, Rico. Brian. I'm serious about that question. With Rico participating as a starting shortstop in that game, and he's got 2 tickets that his wife happened to keep, is he better off signing them or just leaving them as is?
Do one of each. I think that you're going to have some collectors that add value. Like they like the fact that it's signed by somebody that participated in the game that was important to the team.
The Red Sox collector,
Then there's others just that are pure ticket collectors that don't want autographs. Even if it was Michael Jordan, they wouldn't want the autograph.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
That's
different
depends
strokes.
on the
Different
person.
folks.
That's what.
Well, now that this has come up and we're in Rico's era and all this stuff, I have sitting beside me a program from the a game program from the Red Sox from 1969. How are programs working in this market?
So it's funny because we publish a magazine every national called Hobby Intricacies that we give out at our booth, and one of the questions that we asked our employees for this edition of the magazine was, what are some undervalued, underappreciated parts of the business? And one of my employees very astutely said that programs he feels like are tremendously undervalued given their proximity to tickets. People collect tickets because they were there, they were available for the game. The programs were there and available for the game too. And I think he used the example of Jim Brown. Like a Jim Brown debut ticket is a 5-figure ticket potentially, but you can buy the program to that same game for $500. So they haven't yet caught on. I do think that they have some potential in the future. And I think that, if PSA starts encapsulating programs more widely, you may see values increase.
Well, Brian, I did pretty well, if you recall.
Yeah.
Several years ago, I think I consigned them all to you over a period of time. I had a program from every year that the Red Sox were in existence, if you recall, and you kind of spread them out. And I was really happy with the return on those. And I think you probably sold 25 or 30 of them.
Lou.
And then Rico, I had Rico, if you recall.
No, he said he's never gonna sell. Lou, he said he's never gonna sell them when he asked me to sign one of them.
No, listen
never
to me.
sell 'em.
Hold on. No. See,
I know,
you're not
yeah,
letting me
right.
finish. You're not letting me
All right,
finish.
go ahead.
I asked you, I took every single program from your entire career, and you were nice enough to sign the cover of those. And I have those. Those are from my own personal collection from 64 or 65, Rico, through 76.
Yeah, 63, but still.
63. I have every one, and they're in a nice binder, and they're in my closet here.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you.
Oh, sure.
Well, no, I'm serious.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
But I also have every program from 1987 on that I have not been able to give away. So whatever.
I mean,
Anyways.
Brian, most collectors, with the exception maybe of the wealthy vintage collectors that, they go for the real big stuff. Is it mostly what they like most? Let's say a kid goes to his father to the National or to a card show, and he's a Philly fan. He loves Harper or somebody. And is that what you're seeing more of that as far as, the new collectors especially?
I mean, what they're gravitating towards?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't think that there's one size fits all. I mean, I think that collecting obviously started mostly as what you like and you get as much of it as you can. We've seen as prices have increased that there are people that are doing this purely for investment. I would say that there's a mix of people coming in. I talk to a lot of people at the National that are getting back into it with their kids, that are getting back into it after a long break because they have fond memories of it from their childhood. So I don't think it's all investment, but it's hard to ignore that there are some people that are looking at this purely as investment.
Yeah, Brian. Brian, I want to get into some of this stuff that you're just touching upon. But what the first question is, what is your take of the National, and what were your thoughts?
I thought it was massive. I thought it was busy. I thought it was overall a good week. A tremendous amount of people. I always enjoy going to the shows to put faces with names. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I meet for the first time every National. And so that's what I love about it. I didn't get to see all of it for probably the first time in a long time. There were parts of the show that I just never made it to. But overwhelmingly positive feedback from where I sit.
Yeah. Did anything on the floor get a wow out of you? Did you see something that you didn't expect to see?
We took in a consignment that was particularly impressive to me. It was a point of sale advertising display from 1961 Fleer basketball. So I had never seen one in person.
Wow.
Subsequent research had shown that, two of them had sold in the last 20 years. But this one is from so early on that the Wilt Chamberlain rookie's pictured, but they spelled Chamberlain's name wrong. And
Wow.
they changed pictures on some of the other cards, and they tweaked the logos. And it was just such a awesome piece of hobby history that it really wowed me. So we're gonna have that coming up in our next auction.
Hey, Brian, I want to ask you, we got into it pretty heavily on stage, and you were part of the conversation, and you just kind of mentioned it in passing. With these young collectors looking at all of this, a lot of them look at this as an alternative asset class. They're doing a lot of speculation. I have mixed feelings about it. Well, I have mixed feelings about it. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. What are your thoughts on, card flipping? This whole thing of these a lot of people coming into the hobby for the investment purposes only.
So I'm not inherently against it at all. I mean, I think that when you have people, the more people you can get involved, generally, the better. I think that one of the things that's important that new people and especially young people understand is that yes, the market's doing very well right now. Yes, prices are increasing, and it's easy to flip. It's easy to make money. Things don't always go up. And so that's my only fear about some of what I'm seeing right now is that there's like a little bit of blinders on with some of these people. And often it's the younger people where they say, oh, well, my LeBron, I bought it for this and now it's worth this and it's going to keep going. This is just like any market. It can go up, it can go down, it can change, it can go through cycles. So I think we just need to be eyes wide open about that. But look, I mean, more people, again, generally better.
Last week we were talking to Joe, and he had some real strong opinions of it. And I don't think we got into it on stage with you guys, but the whole eye appeal effect that's happening now in the hobby, how important is that? Where you could have a PSA graded 4 whatever, T206 card, using that as an example. And the eye appeal is actually nicer than a T206 PSA 6 card. So how important is eye appeal and in the whole scope of things?
Oh, it's hugely important. And I mean, you've heard over the years, buy the card, not the holder, right? So a 4 that looks like an 8 should outsell a 6 that looks like a 4 any day of the week. And what I like to tell people, mostly new people that are coming in, is that like the grading is like a pyramid. At the top, there's fewer 10s, and there's also less variation as to what a 10 should look like. At the bottom, there's 1s. There's a greater variety of flaws that can grade 1. You can have a card that's been folded 1,000 times and it gets a 1, or you can have a card that otherwise looks like a 9 or 10, but it's got 2 pinholes, and that's an automatic 1. So eye appeal is important. You should buy the card, not the holder. And I think that we're seeing a lot of wisening up, with the buyers now, that they if they're going to pay big money, they better get something that looks good for it.
Is the whole I don't want to open up a can of worms here, but is the whole Mike Baker component going to be a benefit?
So, I mean, I think it depends on the individual collector. So there are people who have been doing this for a very long time that will say, I don't need anybody to tell me what is a good looking card and what's not, right? I know if a card's graded a 4 and it looks like a 5 or a 7, I can discern that myself. There are other people that say, look, these stickers kind of rise cards to the top and make it easier for me to understand what might be worth an extra look because it's going to be high end for the grade. So we've seen stickers in other disciplines like coins be very, very successful and be adopted widely by buyers. But I know people that love them. I know people that hate them. And I think it's going to be your mileage may vary type thing.
Well, it's great if you have the card in your hand and you can tell what the eye appeal is. But if you're on eBay or you're on an auction site or things like that, it can be you tend to lean a little bit on an independent evaluation of the card.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, these stickers, they have had the cards in hand. They have been able to look at them. I think that a company like REA has always done a good job of saying, we feel like this is graded better. We feel like this is strong for the grade. We've called attention to that, which is why over the years we've set a lot of records on cards because we call them out. But the stickers just are easier for people to pick up, like you said, Lou.
All right, we are chatting with Brian Dwyer from REA Auctions. His summer auction, the big blockbuster summer auction is going on. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to have an on deck with Rico, because Rico, I need your opinion on something. So the question this week is coming from me. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
I'm not answering it.
1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
Let's go! Batter up!
Hi, everyone. This is Rico Petrocelli. JustCollect.com, a leader in the vintage sports card industry, is giving free appraisals on your vintage cards. They'll evaluate your collection for free and let you know the value of it at no cost and no obligation. If you're ready to sell, JustCollect.com will offer you industry-leading prices to buy your card collection. To begin your free baseball card appraisal, visit JustCollect.com or call them at 732-828-2261. That's JustCollect.com for your free vintage card appraisals and top buy prices for your cards. Check out JustCollect.com today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
with record-breaking sales from everything from the white border T206 Honus Wagner for $3.12 million to some great items that support the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Golden Auctions has set the highest standards for the finest in sports cards, autographs, and game-used memorabilia. We're always accepting consignments of high-end premium sports treasures or entire collections. Please register for our next auction and bid now at goldenauctions.com. That's golden with an I. We at Golden Auctions are committed to providing unsurpassed customer service for the discriminating collector. That's exactly why we're the leader in the industry. Visit goldenauctions.com or call 856-767-8550. Remember, Golden Auctions. We don't just break records, we shatter them.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUsedBats.com.
Okay, we are back, and it is time for our segment On Deck with Rico, brought to us by Brian Dwyer, who happens to be our guest host today, and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to collectrea.com, especially for their summer auction. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. Rico, this question this week comes from yours truly, me. The reason being is a lot of people have asked me, what is his take? What is his take? What is your take on this year's Red Sox team?
Well, let's see what's happening. They had a great run of all those wins. Everything was going right, which happens to every team. Things go right. The ball falls in. Somebody makes an error, and you take advantage of it. And right now, they lost 4 in a row, but I wouldn't panic. They're still a better team. What's the old saying? The team is not as bad as when they're bad and not as good as when they're good. So they have a shot, at the wild card. Probably not unless they have another long winning streak, of the division. So that's what they got to work for. And I could tell you some of the things that they're not doing, like they were not doing early in the season. The hitters, especially, pitching's pretty good.
What about small ball? They're bunting a lot. They're doing a lot of that stuff.
Yes, it's great. But
I think it's great too.
That's what they need to do when they start to lose a little bit. Start getting men on base because they got guys that can run, but they're missing their pitch. They're missing. They get a pitch. Look, a hitter looks for a mistake out over the plate or up in the zone if he's can hit high balls. And they're missing that right now. They're fouling it off or missing it. Then they chase. That's exactly what they would do.
So Rico, let me ask you this. When you get into when you're hot, when you're on a hitting streak, and you've had some great hitting streaks seriously over your career, you have a confidence. The ball looks bigger.
Yeah.
So what happens? What happens on the switch? In other words, when you have a real hot streak going, and then you get into a slump, what happens? What happens to the mind? How does it all work?
Yeah, well, look how emotional the Red Sox and other teams as well. You go into that streak, there's a lot of emotions, and there's so much your body can take. I don't care how young you are, and in shape you are. The balloon bursts, and you just is not as quick as you were, when you were going good. When you're going bad, you're not watching the ball, you're not seeing the ball, trying to pull everything and all kinds of stuff. And now I see they're pressing. They're pressing now, they're missing pitches. And what gets me? If you watch pitching pitching wise, all teams, because I got MLB, right? And I watch all these games. I love to. And a pitcher who throws high 90s, they'll throw 2 fastballs by a guy. This includes the Red Sox pitchers. And then they try to get him to chase. If he doesn't chase, instead of he just threw 2 fastballs, 97, 98 miles an hour. Here comes the slider or the swerve or whatever the hell they call it, and they hang it. Bang. Home run.
So what are you saying? You're saying come after him 3 times in a row with a fastball?
Just the third time, throw another fastball, but throw it up. Or reel down if you can. It's easier to throw it upstairs. Maybe he'll chase it, okay? But they'll hang a breaking pitch and boom. I see it. You see it on the highlights. I see it in games all the time. But when hitters go bad, they miss their pitch. Foul it all.
What was your? I know what your longest hitless streak was.
That's one thing I was very fortunate. I didn't go into any long is 0 for 32 bad?
That was pretty bad. but
Rico, I'm sorry. I've been equating this team to the 2013 team, which kind of came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere, but that was a veteran-based team. It occurred to me during the streak that the 67 team might be a better comparison because that was a young team that absolutely came out of nowhere.
No doubt.
What are the parallels that you see?
Very much similar.
Doubt.
Really similar. They made a couple of good trades. I think O'Connell, we got Bell and a couple of other guys. Ellie, also.
When you got Kenny Harrelson at the time. Kenny was
the Hawk when Tony got he got a lot of big hits. You got veterans. I like the trades that they made. The kid behind the plate. I saw him last night, and he's quick.
Yeah, he's going to be a good catcher.
Got a quick bat, boy.
Rico, just one last question. We know what your biggest hitless streak was. What was the best hitting streak you had in the majors?
2 games.
No, come on.
I don't know. 12. I think 12 games. I think I recall that. 12 games. It was
a 12-game hitting streak.
Yeah. Well, my great speed. I beat out a couple of infield hits. Don't laugh, you. Listen, that's enough about me. Let's get back to Brian.
Do you hit 40, Rico? Do you wish they had Wally the Green Monster in the dugout?
Making every time they'd have to put that thing on his head.
It must smell real good, huh? But
no. I can see Rico with that Wally thing on his head.
Jeez. Absolutely.
No, I ain't. Long time put it on him. These kids, let them.
Let's get back to Brian.
Yeah, please.
Brian Dwyer's got his.
I have a question about
go
to Dwyer. I am very, very interested in because I one of my big interests is the growth of the industry and keeping everything going. But I was very curious about the international market. How involved are the not just yourself, but the whole American industry, part of it?
Yeah, I think that the international growth has been just as big, if not bigger, than the domestic growth. We've always seen tremendous interest in basketball cards, modern cards, gaming cards from Asia. We have dozens of different countries represented on our mailing list. We have active participation from double-digit countries in almost every auction. As Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And One Piece and these other games have become bigger and the dollars have become bigger, you're seeing even more international users. So I suspect that it'll continue to grow. We see Topps opening up stores in Europe. We see a lot of effort being made to reach international consumers. So I think you're just going to see that play a bigger part of the market as we continue going on.
Japan must be
is huge.
Tremendous. I would think.
Yeah, and you look at a guy like Ohtani, and he's probably responsible for a lot of that interest. Just tremendous appeal worldwide.
Brian, you have a huge selection of non-sports cards in this auction that I noticed. I mean, from everything, and there's some pretty cool stuff in there. Yeah. Not a lot of Pokemon this time around, I believe. But my question is, you, like everybody else in the vintage world, there was a learning curve. You guys had to all kind of step up to the plate almost overnight to really get acclimated to what Pokemon was all about. Did you have to bring in an expert, or have you hired an expert that can handle your Pokemon influx?
Yeah. So, I mean, the most important thing for us is knowing what we don't know. So, if you showed us T206s, we could handle that no problem. But as we started to see more Pokemon, as we started to see more gaming, even just as we started to see more modern, it was important for us to go out and find people that, for them, that was easy to understand and easy to communicate to our buyers. So, yes, now we have a TCG person on staff, we have a modern person on staff. And that just allows us to be more confident in how we handle this, because we talked about this at the national. Like these modern cards, they're making so many different parallels. There's so much more
Right.
going on. It's hard to understand. It's hard to understand the rarity sometimes of some of these cards. And when it comes to fraud, there's more elements that you can tweak and be fraudulent on with the modern cards than a 52 top.
Well, Louis, you and I were speaking. I think we were talking about that with either Joe or a couple of weeks ago, but that because of all the variations now, has the rookie card really kind of become watered down? I'm talking about the actual rookie card, because there may be 25 Roman Anthony rookie cards, using him as an example.
You mean modern?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rookie card is not what it was 50 years ago, not even what it was 30 years ago, probably.
Right.
To your point, there are dozens, hundreds, sometimes thousands of cards that qualify as a player's rookie. And so what I think we're seeing now is, look at a guy like Mahomes, look at a guy like Trout, Otani. You're seeing certain issues gravitate to the top of the pile as the ultimate desirability. They're the flagship card associated with that player. And then there's just a hierarchy of rookie cards. Do you want something that's numbered? Do you want something that's a parallel? Do you want something that's autographed? Do you want something that's licensed, unlicensed? So there's just more variables now, and every collector is going to figure out what works for them.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit, Brian, about, because we talked about people who see this as an alternative asset class and investors coming into the hobby more and more. An investor walks in your door today and he's got a lot more money than I do. And he wants to open a portfolio on cards. Let's do cards specifically, and say, how would you tell him to start? What's the split for modern and vintage? What are you targeting? What do you want in your collection?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that a lot of it depends on what his timeline is. So, we have conversations like this frequently where, are you looking to buy and sell within a year, or are you looking to buy and sell within a decade? And the answer is different, depending on your timeline and your approach. I do still think that vintage is the safest area of our hobby at this point in time. I think it's tried and true. I think you know what you're getting with guys like Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth, etc. It's hard to ignore how widely collected modern is. So I think that it has a place in a portfolio. We have to be wise about it. And I'm not too big on speculating. You see these cards that go for big dollars, and the players are largely unproven. What if they don't pan out? What if they get hurt? So I would advocate for a heavier vintage portfolio, likely, not ignoring modern, but being intelligent with how you spread your money around.
Brian,
Yeah,
do you
that
ever
makes
get
sense.
input from your clients about their portfolio? I mean, do they actually? I know, like I've done it. I mean, create your own vintage card or memorabilia portfolio, but do they ever consult with their actual their financial guy, whoever their financial advocate is, or instructor, or whoever? Do they talk about, here, how can I blend this into my 401k or my IRA or my investments? Do you ever get any of that input?
Yeah, we hear that a lot. And you obviously know Tom at Destiny. I mean, he works with people, high net worth individuals, where collectibles are a portion of their overall investment strategy. And I think that portion is an important word here. I wouldn't advocate that somebody go 100% collectibles for their retirement, but I think that if you have the knowledge, if you have the inclination, if you have the disposable income, it can be a very worthwhile part of your planning. So yes, depending on the dollars and cents involved, you're going to want to incorporate your financial planner into these discussions. The way that prices are escalating, it's not an insignificant part of most people's estates anymore. But I think everybody's situation is different, obviously.
We are chatting with Brian Dwyer from REA Auctions. Brian, I also noticed in the auction you have a ton of really cool Type 1 photos.
Yeah.
That's another area of the hobby that over the last, 5, 6, 8, 10 years has just kind of exploded. Are you seeing continued growth in Type 1 photos?
We are. Yeah.
Type 1 photos is, for those who are listening.
Good point. Why don't you explain what a Type 1 photo is, Brian?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rico.
The PSA came up with, in conjunction with their authenticators, Henry Yee and others, a classification system that looks at a photograph and says, when was this photograph produced in relation to the original negative? So a Type 1 photograph is something that is going to have been produced within about 2 years of that original negative being made. So Type 1s are the most desirable. They're the oldest. They're the most period of a photograph. And I still think we're very early on in that whole collecting discipline. I think that what we're seeing is that the best of the best continues to rise to the top. You're seeing primo Ruth images, Robinson images, significant milestone images used for cards. Those are rewriting the record books. But there's still plenty of great photography out there where just from an image perspective, it's beautiful, it's aesthetic, it's a good collectible, and it's not going to break.
You've got some really cool ones. I mean, I went through, you have a pretty extensive collection.
These the black and white photos from the press,
a lot of them are,
from the newspapers and stuff.
So we even have a number of, we've got like a circa 1993 Derek Jeter photograph. That's a Type 1,
Nice.
And it's significant. It's a rookie image of Jeter. We've got rookie image of Kobe and Ken Griffey, and we've got some entertainment photos in this auction. So, it doesn't have to be black and white for it to be a Type 1. It's all just about the dating of the original negative. But,
Good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Hey, listen, before we take a break, we mentioned Tom Ruggie and Destiny Wealth, his Destiny Wealth office. Why don't you tell us, Rico, about our good friend Tom Ruggie?
Well, if I had the copy, I would.
I sent it to you.
I got the Philly show copy.
I sent you Ruggie this morning.
No.
Oh my God,
Where's
you're
my
pathetic.
phone?
Absolutely pathetic.
I got it on my phone.
If you have it, you can read it. If not, I'm going to have to do it.
Well, what'd you do? Send it on.
I emailed
It's hard to find good help these days.
You emailed it? Wait a second.
I did both, Rico. You pay no attention to my emails or texts.
I don't got it on my ERA here. What do they call it?
ERA.
Hold it. Nope.
I'm going to give you one more minute.
Okay. Nope. Unknown sender.
No text, no nothing. Huh,
nothing.
Yeah,
so
okay.
help me God.
Absolutely good.
Philly show. The Philly show.
Lou, do you happen to have it? Because I have it.
I have the Philly show, but no, I don't have it.
I'll do it. I want to talk to you about our friend Tom Ruggie and the staff at Destiny Wealth.
Former friend.
If you're a card or memorabilia collector, have you ever thought about how to manage your collection long term? Well, I certainly have. Now, this is Rico speaking, by the way. Well, I certainly have. I looked through my personal collection and through the advice and expertise of Tom Ruggie have learned that you need a professional to help you categorize, evaluate, and eventually put a liquidation plan together with dealers or auctioneers if you or your family decides to sell your collection. Most importantly, you need to be aware of the tax ramifications when you liquidate. Now, this is Rico talking. Although Zap and Lou have begged me to include them when it comes time to depart with my 40th home run ball or my 1967 World Series glove, I'm going to Tom Ruggie, and I want him to tell us what to do with it. And don't forget, Rushi Wealth Management will also handle all of your investment needs. That's Rushi Wealth Management, the go-to company to manage your collectible decisions. Rico, I just bailed your ass
You
out.
did it.
That's all I'm
Nice
saying.
job. Listen,
I bailed your ass out. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. We have another segment with Brian, talk a little more about the auction. We do have a new book coming out I want to chat about. And
yeah,
then
but
just
I
other
want
stuff.
to ask Brian about how he started and something about the company I would like to know about because it's a great company.
Can you wait till we come back?
Yeah,
We've got,
of course.
we've got a teaser.
Hang in there. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden Auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Okay, we are back with Brian Dwyer from REA Auctions. I want to take a minute to tell you about our series of award-winning sports collectibles books. Over the years, Ellen and myself, along with hobby legend Joe Orlando, sports columnist, you guys all remember John Mallory, and our own Lou Blasi, XM Fantasy Sports baseball host. We've been fortunate to win approximately 12 major awards with the books that we've written.
Great books.
Yeah, we're especially proud of these books because they're kind of filled with amazing stories about, sports cards and sports memorabilia. So if you'd like to add one or even the entire collection to your library, you can go visit tomzappalamedia.com. And right now, I think a couple of them, they mix them up. A couple of them are on sale. I really think you're going to love them. Several of the books are on sale, so it's a great time to pick one up. Again, that's tomzappalamedia.com. And we are in the process of working on our final book of this series. Guys like Brian have been tremendously helpful in putting the information together. Legendary finds and sports collecting treasures. It's kind of a compilation of all the great finds that we read about in the newspapers and on the news, and then some of the great finds that have come through some of the auction houses. So it's going to be a good, fun project, and we're working on it. Right now, Ellen is working vigorously with the design people at the publishing company.
Yes.
All right, let's get back to Brian. Brian, there's been a lot of.
Wait a minute. About the question.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
See what I mean, Lou? No respect.
I'm sorry.
Me and Rodney Dangerfield.
I forgot.
Go ahead.
So I'll give you the quick hit.
That's
So
all right.
I started collecting as a kid, just like most people. Bought some cards as a kid, became enamored with them. Discovered vintage when I was 12, when my buddy's dad gave me his childhood cards to sort and sell on eBay for him. Loved it. Continued to collect vintage. Went to college, had some extra time, started selling cards to have walking around money. Graduated at a time where there weren't a lot of jobs in my major, and said, let me see if I can work with baseball cards. So I got a job working for SGC, the grading company. Really missed the buying and selling. Started my own auction company, which was Sterling Sports Auctions, which advertises for the show.
By the way, our friend Lee, Lee Behrens bought Sterling from Brian.
Yep. So that was my company. I sold it to Lee. Then I went to work for REA. And then the founder decided that he wanted to retire. And so then I bought REA 10 and a half years ago now. So
wow.
Great.
Well, how many you have employees? You have, where are you located?
We're in New Jersey. We have, REA has about 21 employees. And then we also bought Huggins and Scott a couple years ago. And they're located in Maryland, and they have 8 employees.
Nice. I tell you, Brian, you really have done well.
Terrific.
You've done a great job, and you're an asset, big asset to the hobby. Yeah. Hey, Brian, there's been a lot of concern. I want to use the word concern amongst the collecting world about backlogs from the major third-party authenticators. And I want to get your thoughts on that. I know Nat is planning on a $200 million infrastructure addition at some point in time. They're going to hire 1,000 employees over a period of time. What are your thoughts on that? Is it a temporary thing? You think it's going to the bottleneck is going to open up again? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a big issue, and I mean, to their credit, I don't think that PSA is taking it lightly, and I don't think that any of the companies that have shut down are taking it lightly. But it is a big issue. It affects collectors, it affects dealers, it affects us as auction houses. Grading equals liquidity in a lot of instances, and if it takes us longer or costs us more, then that impacts the liquidity. I think $200 million will go a long way towards solving some of these issues, hopefully. I don't think that they'll be shut down forever, but I do think that they'll make controlled reopenings. I do think that the prices will increase. And I do think that, I just alluded to the fact that I worked at a grading company when I came out of college. Now, that was 18 years ago. The hobby was a very different place 18 years ago than it is today. But even then, people were grading cards that had no business being graded. They were under this false illusion that a graded card was automatically a more valuable card. But it wasn't the case, either because the condition was low or the card just wasn't selling for more than the grading fee. And I think that there's a lot of that going on right now. Companies like PSA have made it easier for people to submit. You can walk into a GameStop and just submit cards.
Right.
And it's people aren't taking the requisite time to learn what they're doing, and they're submitting cards that have no business being submitted. So that's good for the bottom line of companies like PSA that provide the service, but it's bad for the overall ecosystem because it kind of gums up the whole process.
We are chatting with Brian Dwyer from REA Auctions. All right, Rico, now you can try earning your money. How about the Philly show? You think you can read that one?
Well, Lou has the copy, too. Want to do half and half?
No, you can do it. Lou's got his own reach to do.
All right, East Coast Sports Marketing, along with eBay, are pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show, known as the Philly Show, from Friday, September 25th to Sunday, September 27th, held at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center Halls, A, B, D, and E, at 100 Station Avenue, Oaks Park, Pennsylvania, 19456, in case you want to mail them something. The Philly Show is bigger and better than ever. Shop over 1,000 tables from 300 of your favorite hobby dealers from across the country, displaying sports cards and collectibles from the 1800s to present day. Visit the new Pokemon TCG section of over 150 tables. See? Major sports auction houses and third-party grading and authentication companies are on hand to assist your collecting needs. The Philly Show is family-friendly, and all kids 10 and under get in for free, and the military gets 50% off. By the way, I'm a veteran, so I get
You were a Cub Scout.
All right, that too. Autographed guests to include, look at this. This is current Philadelphia Eagles. Forgive me if I mispronounce. Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, that's good.
Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
And Brandon Graham of the Philadelphia Eagles. Baseball greats. I wish I was there just to get their autographs. Jim Thome. Roger Clemens. My God. Basketball Hall of Famers. Julius Erving, who were mine and my four sons' favorite basketball player at that time, Allen Iverson, and many more. For more information, go to phillyshow.com. Remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all
by
started.
the way,
That's
here's
true.
here's a major announcement that Rico
ahead.
doesn't even know.
Really?
1 year from today, not 1 year from today, but at the Philly Show next year after the National, Ellen and I will be appearing there to do a book signing with
nice.
Joe Orlando, and Rico Petrocelli will be there. For
we hope.
He just found out.
As long as he's vertical, Rico will be there to do a major signing at the Philly Show.
Wait a minute. Even if I'm not, if I'm the other way, I might.
Well, you remember that movie? Remember that movie El Cid with Charlton Heston when he croaked and they stuffed him and they put him on the horse and he looked like he was. We can do that with you.
Absolutely. Hey, I'll fake it.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, Brian, what are some of the other things? We got a few minutes left. What are some of the other really cool items? Because you got a nice wide arrangement of memorabilia, cards. What are some of the other highlights?
Yeah, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of unopened material. We touched on the brick to start the show, but there's unopened boxes from 61 and 62 Topps football, 86 Fleer basketball, just some crazy rare stuff in there. Gowdy Garrigs, both 34 Gowdy Garrigs in 8, both 38 DiMaggios in 8, T206 Green Cobb in a 7, 1914 Cracker Jack Cobb in a 7, E121 Ruth in a 6. Just an incredible selection of stuff. So, we like to focus on the big dollar stuff when I come on and do the show, but there's truthfully something for everybody. There's items at $100.
Yeah. You know what I do? The first thing I do at all of your auctions, I go to the lowest price first. I work backwards because you always, unequivocally, you will always find a really good buy that either someone bypasses or misses. So I always work from the back up, and there's some great stuff in there that you can find.
Yeah,
it really is.
Big selection.
Sure.
Yep. We got a couple of minutes left. First of all, let's do this. Louis, how about our friend Tom Finkelmeyer?
Well, as you know, Tom, the Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., who's the current president of the Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting, and with a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management, Tom covers every aspect of your collectibles insurance needs. Unlike some companies that just sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. A good friend and hobby legend, John Tobby of JT Sports, has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion.
And lastly, our last read. This has been like a big infomercial today. I mean, we got inundated.
A lot of reads.
Man, this was another last minute one. He said, "Can you do it again?" I said, "Fine." We want to talk about our pal, Michael Veriali, and his unique business model, Sports Cards the Hobby. Michael takes pride in educating collectors about the ins and outs of the hobby and will advise you on making sound decisions based on your collecting needs. You can follow them on Instagram at Sports Cards the Hobby or on Facebook. And while you're there, check out their super rare collection of unique Ken Griffey Jr. signed rookie cards and others. To learn the value of your collection and event schedule, visit sportscardsthehobby.com or call or text 631-339-0900, 631-339-0900. Educating, buying, selling, and trading is Sports Card the Hobby. Brian, let's talk about the white elephant in the big room. It's called theft. At the National, there was a couple of things that happened. There was one very disturbing video, I'm sure you saw it this past week, of a couple of individuals that lifted a card. Very disturbing. Do you think the whole thing of theft, forgery. You think it's being policed better?
Well, theft at shows and forgery, two very different
Things, right?
Different things. So I'll talk about the shows. I mean, I think that a lot of the shows that happen will say that there's theft that goes on there, and they're doing as much as they can. I know that the National has undercover security. I know
I thought they did a great job, to be honest with you.
There was so much security there, but a lot of this theft is just crime of opportunity. The dealers are distracted, the showcases are left unlocked. So I think that, not to victim shame or blame at all, but there's some very basic things that you can do. Make sure that your showcases are locked. Make sure that you're properly staffed to watch them. You saw our booth. We had 24/7 armed security at our booth. Multiple uniformed police officers throughout the entirety of the show.
Right.
Now that came at a big expense, and I'm not saying that's going to be the answer for everybody, but I think that the show promoters have been doing a good job. It's easy to buy cameras now for your table and your setup. So, I think that there's just some steps that you can take to deter theft. Fraud's a whole different topic. I can touch on it if you want, or we can.
I do. No, I'd like you to, because it's a problem.
Yeah, so it's a problem. It's always been a problem, right? As long as there's been money involved in anything, there's been incentive for people to try and fake it or take shortcuts. So I think that technology giveth and technology taketh. So we're learning a lot more because of how omnipresent technology is now, but you're also seeing the fraudsters get better. So I think that you just have to take the time to learn. We talked about it earlier. There's a lot of new people coming in. Don't take the shortcut and deal with trustworthy people, buy trustworthy grading companies, put your money behind and with people that have taken the time to make sure that you're only getting and they're only selling properly vetted material. And if it's too good of a deal, it probably is too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But the fraudsters, they're heavily incentivized to stay ahead of the good guys. And I don't think that's going to go anywhere, but we're just going to all do the best we can.
It's sad, huh? People
well said.
Want to steal and hurt others. But like you said, it's been going on forever.
For a long time. Louis, any final thoughts?
No, that fraud thing is interesting because there's so much money involved, right? It's just like the temptation is too much, and the technology is getting to the point where people can get advanced really quickly.
And it's just, sometimes I don't know if you feel bad for people or you just, Brian, is it okay? You think it's okay to mention that video that has, propped up all over the place with the theft that took place?
Yeah, I mean, it's been everywhere. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but they made an arrest in that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a guy, Rico and Lou, a grandfather with his 12-year-old grandson.
No kidding.
Stealing a $2,500 card. Was it?
I think it was $12,000.
$12,000 card.
My goodness.
Literally, the cameras are on them, lifting the card, looking at it, and the two of them walking away. And they arrested I know they made an arrest a couple of days ago. They arrested the grandfather, and I don't know what's going to happen. But, it's just, I find that disheartening. I really do. And, I guess.
It's sad that people have to do that. I mean,
yeah. All right, Brian, listen,
it was great.
As always, man, we love having you on the show. You have been a tremendous asset, not only to our show,
to the industry.
You've been with us now, man, for the whole time. We're going into our 12th year, and you've been with us since day one, you and a handful of other guys, and we really, really appreciate it. But
yes,
you brought a lot to the hobby, and you're a compliment to the hobby. So I tip my hat.
Wonderful. Thank you, by the way.
No, always good catching up with you guys.
When's the auction end?
Sunday, August 16th. You have to have your bids in by 9 p.m. Eastern.
And after that, you've got, when's your next one? Fall?
Yeah, so we have a big catalog coming up in November. We have monthly auctions at collectrea.com in September and October. And then
one quick question about your marketplace. I don't know what you call it. Is it called your marketplace?
Yep.
Tell me about that, because I'm finding that very intriguing. So you can buy something on the spot. Is this stuff that you're getting from consignments that people saying don't auction it off, but boom, sell it, this is what I want for it?
Yeah, it's all consigned. It's just consigned at a fixed price. So our marketplace is always on. You give us an item, you set your price, we put it up on our website, we advertise it. We can allow buyers to make you offers. You can accept, you can counter, you can reject. But it's been a great addition. It's going on 18 months old now. We've sold almost $10 million worth of stuff in that model.
And it's all high end stuff, though, right? Is there
$100 and up? So
really?
We've sold today a $22,000 item, and we've sold a $163 item. So
wow.
You just never know.
Yeah,
very cool.
That's great.
All right. Well, listen.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on board, Louis. Great job, Rico. You had your A game today, which we're very pleased to see.
A game. What's that?
And with that being said,
Brian, great job. Really,
always.
I learned a lot.
With that being said, Rico,
Lou,
by the way,
job.
is working on bringing in one of his former teammates over the next couple of weeks. So,
But
we'll
he
see what
died.
happens. He died. with that being said, happy collecting.
Happy collecting.